Everybody, welcome to LadiesPoopToo episode 7. I'm so excited for this one. The topic is going to be dating while pooping. These are things that I feel like couples never really talk about, and I stumbled upon such a fun podcast and Instagram page called Shit Talk is the podcast, and the Instagram page is Shit Talk NYC, and I have Matt and Mur who actually run the page Shit Talk, and I could not think of a better way to just fit together what we're going to talk about.
And like when I meet somebody new, it's always fun to explain like, oh yeah, I have a podcast, like I do this, or like, oh, what's your podcast about? And I'm like, shit. At Shit Talk, we really just try to highlight the essential role that poop plays in our physical and emotional well-being. It's very similar to LadiesPoopToo, so we love what you're doing. So proud to be here. Check out my shirt.
Oh! Do couples talk about pooping?
Pooping? What's pooping?
Yeah, right?
For me, like, I've never been in a couple. I'm a single girl for life. I don't believe in boyfriends, just as like a general personal rule. But I mean, do you really need to talk about that? Like, I feel like everybody shits. Like, when I would like stay over dudes' houses, which would be few and far in between because, you know, dudes don't have like bed frames. So like, that's really not like my vibe personally. But like when I woke up and had to shit, like, I'm just gonna shit. Like, 9 times out of 10, I'm like gonna shit soup anyway, so it's not like I'm gonna get very far if I don't just do it. So I'm very just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm leaving anyway. Like, you're an unsafe number. Like, I could care less if you like think less of me because like I shit.
It's like the sex talk, like with kids or something. Like, when do you have like the poop talk? Especially if you're gonna like go into marriage or like deep relationships. Like, it's like, and you're living together. Girls poop. It's fine. Everyone poops. It's
right, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a guy be like grossed out by the fact that like I'm gonna shit like probably 7 times throughout like our first date. But like if that's a deal breaker with them, then that's just too bad because that's, you know, who I am.
Let's normalize poop. Like in my family, my parents, like they had a master bedroom with 2 toilets so they could poop at the same time.
Oh
So,
my
like,
god, I
come on.
love that! That is so cute!
Do you think that there's like different levels of securities and like openness when it comes to pooping? Because my and her boyfriend, literally, they wipe and like will show each other their poop.
Okay, yeah, that's like very extreme to me. Like, I don't need to do that, but if that's like what works for them,
Like take a picture of it and then like send it to each other, or be like, honey, come in here and look at this one.
Yeah. What stage of a relationship, whether I guess, you know, with anybody, is it like you get comfortable enough to start talking about poop?
I think it's about like, for me, like the 3 weeks to 1 month stage. But like once, like a good way to break the ice is just to like go for it and fart in front of them, like get it over with early, like that way you don't have to like have all these hang-ups about pooping and farting like in front of them from then on. And I recently met someone and he called me on FaceTime and he was like on the toilet. And this happened about like 3 weeks in. So I was like, okay, this is it. It's happening now.
Same thing kind of happened to me, except he wasn't pooping, he was peeing. I was surprised. I was like, are you peeing on the phone with me? This is a big step.
I was too.
Excited. It was like he was introducing me to like his family and friends. I like felt the same. I was just like, wow, this is a big step. Do you guys have any like funny or embarrassing poop stories? It could be about dating or it could be just like in general.
I don't have a poop one, but I have a pee one, if you'll accept that.
Yeah.
One time I was I was hooking up with this guy and I slept over his house, and then the next morning he like woke up and like took a shower, allegedly. So he was like in the bathroom with this like shower of water running, and I had to pee so bad. Like I was like, I'm literally like, I don't have anywhere else to pee. I'm not gonna pee there with him. Literally, I like popped a squat over. He lived in a basement apartment, so everything was like kind of lower anyway.
Yeah.
So I literally just popped a squat over his sink and just peed there because I had to pee so bad.
I saw the construction workers like outside my window peeing on the roof yesterday. I'm like, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a guy would just whip it out in a couple of seconds. So ladies, I'm so proud of you for going for it. LadiesPoopToo.
Yeah.
Something that happened in a past relationship, early on, like I took this massive shit and it was in the shape of the letter that the guy that I was dating's name is. So like, it was the shape of a C. And I looked at it, and I'm like a spiritual person already. So I'm like, oh my God. I like whip out my phone, take a photo, send it to my sister, and be like, look what just happened. Like, I'm marrying this guy. This is so meant to be. And then like, I told him about it, and he's like, wow. He thought it was funny, but like, I mean, we dated for like 5 more years after that, so.
Oh, I mean, do you guys think that pooping and shit like brings people together intimately?
Yes.
I think that, I mean, I'm not really interested in any intimate connections, but as far as my friendships go,
Friendships,
like,
friendships,
definitely, definitely, like, for sure has like brought me closer to like all of my friends. Like, they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you like have this outlet where like we can all like actually talk about this thing that like no one, you know, normally lets us talk about.
I think as far as intimacy, like, pooping is not a flaw or a bad habit or a stage that we're going through. Like, we just gotta let it flow, like, let it go, you know?
Oh my God, that's gonna be a quote. Oh, you just said it. Okay, that's gonna be it.
It's the media too, in our culture. I think it is getting better. Like, one movie like Bridesmaids, where they normalize shitting, and it's funny and everyone loves it. And I really think that like it is a movement.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that we're here talking about it, because
fun.
you know, we can do hard things like make a poop movement.
It's like, I feel like being more open about it is what makes like you more comfortable about it.
Yeah, I think the earlier you talk about it, like, the better. Just drop it, drop the bomb.
No pun intended.
Be like,
Yeah.
let's sit him down and be like, listen, I really have something to tell you. Like, I poop too.
Yeah, no, I would just shit when I needed to shit. I would not like have a conversation with someone about like a bodily function. I would just go.
I feel like that's more badass. People automatically assume that you're just peeing, but then like
Yeah.
you come out and they're like, did she just and come out and act like nothing happened? It's like, okay, no
For
shame.
sure. I mean, everyone's gonna shit. So I'm all about just doing it. No combo needed.
I mean, I saw online that people are calling it like the honeymoon's over shit. But I'm telling you, don't wait until the honeymoon, honey. Because like, we need to normalize that. You know how some people like, I don't know, I feel like once they're married, then they really like just let their true colors show, because they're like,
Yeah.
I got the ring, like whatever. Now I'm just gonna be like a shit monster. As they do.
That's me without a ring. So yeah, I agree. We need to normalize it, but I don't think we need to have conversations about like a thing that everybody does. So I would just say, go shit your life away, do what you need to do. And I'm sure he's not gonna like say anything like you're not allowed to shit here.
Imagine.
And if he does, then you know he's not the one.
What is the deeper meaning behind it? Like, what do you really want people to hear?
Shit Talk, our podcast, we really want to highlight the essential role poo plays in our physical and emotional well-beings. And like, you know, with that being said, we just want to have a platform that we can just like talk shit, like talk about whatever we want to talk about, but also like talk about shit. It's 2020. Like, you know, I think we're all ready to just like, you know, sit down with all this shit and unpack it. Let's normalize it. You know, if your ass is bleeding, let's talk about that. Like, let's get you a doctor appointment.
And for me, it's just like fun. Like, we just like sit around, we talk shit, talk about life, whatever, and we can like showcase, you know, people's stories. A lot of people are like finding it super relatable, so that's just all about the fun for me.
I think it's just a good way to connect everybody. Pooping is
yeah.
a good way to connect everybody.
Like,
Poop has literally brought people together right now.
us together, right? Exactly.
So Mer, Matt,
Yeah.
thank you guys
Got
so
it.
much for doing the 7th episode of Ladies Poop Too. I hope everybody has become a little bit more educated on how ladies and everybody poop.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you need to have a poop talk, or do you think it's something that just flows naturally when you're in a relationship? Join me next time. I'm going to be talking to Ellie Erickson, dating and life coach, and we're going to be talking about standards versus expectations when it comes to the beginning stages of dating.